Okay, I'll tell you what.
All right, what's that?
Let's get you adjusted just a little bit, your position.
All right.
All right, tell you what, let me get you to scoot over to the left.
Okay, this way.
To the left.
To the right, my right.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Right, stage right.
All
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
All right, how's that?
Okay, a little bit more.
A little bit? All right.
That's good, but let me get you to go over a little more.
Just a little? All right.
Yeah. We're getting better. A little bit more. Perfect.
Hang on just a minute. I'm totally out of the shot, Frank. You're doing
Well,
that.
that was the whole...
You did that on purpose.
That was...
Have me jerking around here right on live Facebook. I swear. And we're live now. I'm back on the show. Frank tried to do away with me for a minute there. I can't see any comments through my phone because my finger, when I turn my phone on, a new software update come on, and I thought I hit cancel or remind me later, but I hit install now. As most of you can see, I'm sitting here waiting on my phone to upload the next software update. Thanks, iPhone.
Right.
So I can't see any comments or...
So, see, if you had a Samsung like me, it's
Well, see, having an iPhone is like infinity drivers. You know how that is? All infinity drivers, they're uppity, they think they own the road. Right. Every infinity you pass on the highway, they don't even look your way, you know. So that's kind of like the iPhone. So I needed some way to feel like, you know, it's kind of upper middle class, you know what I'm saying? So I can't see if anybody's laughing or not, or see if anybody's even watching.
I see an apple that somebody's bitten off.
Yeah, so, that's generally how I feel when the bill comes in, too, because somebody's taking a bite out of my tail. So,
welcome to Controlled Chaos Live. I started to say Paranormalities and Paranormals.
Hey,
can you believe that?
This is show 16, and you still don't even know the name of the show.
Right. Well, I'm still writing 2016 every once in a while.
Oh, man.
So just bear with me. But welcome to Controlled Chaos Live. This is episode number 16.
Yeah, sure is.
So, gonna be a good one. We got a lot in store for you tonight. A lot that we're going to cover.
We've got some goodies. The mail was delivered Monday. My goodness, have we got some good stuff to show you. It's like a kid at Christmas. I can't wait.
Right, tonight we're talking about paranormal equipment. And because we know it's about that time of year, everybody's getting those tax refunds in. That money's burning a hole in their pocket. And now you're wanting that gadget that you saw on TV for, you know, you see it on the websites and everything else, and you've even got it on your wish list. It may be sitting in the cart waiting on the money to hit the bank. You never know. But before you spend that money,
I hope Jennifer doesn't check our account because, you know, after seeing all this, I made a few purchases over in the corner just a few minutes ago. So I don't think she's watching right now, but as soon as my phone updates, I'll be able to know. So it might be the end of the show before this thing decides to.
Right. So just bear with us.
Yes, if we can't see your comments, I will get to them as soon as I can. Yep. I apologize in advance.
So before you spend that tax money on anything, watch our equipment guide. That's what we're talking about tonight. Is what you should get, and some things that are going to help you, some things more than others. So that is going to be the case here. And
you know, a lot of times we'll come on and we'll show you a lot of pieces of equipment, and we're not necessarily saying that's the type of equipment that you have to have. We just want to give you a general background in what all is out there, and some of the knockoffs and some of the lower grade technology that you'll try to buy, and you will not be happy with the picture, with the quality, with the sound. There's a lot of times when I first got started into buying paranormal equipment, you'd buy a camera and the sound was terrible. Or you'd buy a camera and the sound was great, but the picture was terrible. Yep. So it's some of those things that is trial and error, really, and it's a lot of research that you have to do on these newer cameras and all, just in order for you to get what you're going to be happy with. Hey, nice to join you, Frank, again.
Right,
I'm glad you can
I
join us again.
Thought I'd come back.
Jump up in the middle of the show and leave me hanging.
Well, I mean, I thought you were doing really good.
Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, I thought I handled it pretty well, too, you know.
So, I guess first thing we should cover is what's everyone's favorite thing? What do you think it would be? Video or EVP?
What do you think the consensus is on?
Yep.
I'm saying, well, my favorite has always been the EVPs, the audio part of the investigation.
Right.
Video is great, but rarely do you capture anything on video. So, which makes the audio to me is the most important to me and my favorite.
Well, in that case, we'll cover some audio equipment first.
Oh, great! Hey, I actually get to make a decision on this show.
Right.
I'm loving it, man. I am nowhere near uploaded yet. I bet this is going to take 7 hours to upload this darn. Because I'm sure people are saying, "Don, you're so great, you're so wonderful,"
right.
and I can't see it. I mean, I can't see it.
I can't either. I mean,
Okay, you try to kick me out of the show right off the bat. Now you're talking about how you can't see how wonderful I am. We'll see. All right, we'll see at the end of the show how wonderful I am. Anyway, audio equipment. Like I said, darn bug was on me. I think we let a few little outside critters in when we come in.
All right, so I've got a couple of things here that you can use for audio. If I can sort through some of the stuff that we have together.
This is my favorite. My favorite.
So, all right. So for audio gear, you know, you can go out. You can buy there's an MP3 recorder that you can use that goes on your wrist.
Oh, really?
Records MP3s on your wrist, right there.
You know, Apple has the Apple Watch.
That a lot of people like that. I tend to not be one of them.
You went with Samsung. You're not in the cool group,
Right.
Hey, that's just the first stage. I'm not going to get excited yet. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So as far as recorders go, you know, you can buy the little thing the MP3 recorder. You can buy a voice recorder for $30. I don't recommend that. Not if you want really, really good results. The issue you're going to see voice recorder is there you go. You did get going.
We're here. Finally, hold on a second. Let me adjust this volume. And would you look at there? Now, hey, I can see 4 people, all the 4 people watching us. That is great. Pink, Laura, absolutely excellent. Jennifer is watching. Oh my goodness, she probably heard what I said.
Right. She knows all about how much money you just spent earlier. If she was watching, she would know. I'm not saying a word to her about how much money you spent.
She wasn't watching, Frank. Dang.
I'm not going to say a word to her about how much money you spent.
Okay, tonight, everyone, we are doing an all-night marathon, Control Chaos Live, because I will not be able to go home if she checks the account. Thanks, Frank. So, all right, back to audio equipment. Now I can see everyone's comments and everything. I feel great. All right, let's do it.
So you know, with those $30 recorders, voice recorders, MP3 recorders, I personally would advise against going with those. And the reason is because of what kind of file an MP3 is. I'm going to give you an illustration with...
This is unplanned, so I do not know what he's talking about.
I'm going to illustrate with you the difference in MP3s and waves with this tripod.
The difference between MP3 and WAV.
Yes.
With a tripod. Okay.
Yes. And the reason I'm saying this, I promise I'm not about to go into a 30-minute scientific lecture on the audio waveform. I'd like to.
Thank you.
But, this is just a little quick illustration. All right, this tripod, you can see how big this is when it's extended.
Okay.
This is its peak. You know, it's at its peak. You see the full. You can see the full wave of it.
Try not to knock her set down.
Right. Now the thing about this is, you see the full spectrum, the full range of this tripod is right here.
Okay. Yeah.
The problem is storing this. It's not going to fit into a lot of places.
I would see how that tripod would hard to fit into an SD card. Yes.
Right. So like if I've got a computer with a small hard drive or something like that, then I don't have room for a lot of these WAV files. So I can't, WAV files pretty big. However, if I make a few adjustments, I can do this, and I can actually take it and I can shorten it. Now, see, we still have a tripod. This is an MP3 file. Your MP3 file, when
MP3 leaks out a little bit every
once in a while. Your MP3 file, you can see, is much smaller, much more compact. Now, this is still a tripod. I can still put something on it. I can still use it as a tripod. This is my MP3 file. Although still usable, I'm not getting, you see my audio spectrum here. I don't have as much audio in this. I compacted it to save space. I can stack a lot more of these in one area than I could if it were extended.
Correct.
So by compacting it, this is your MP3. That is what an MP3 file is.
Now, when you compact it, do you distort the quality of your sound?
Yes, because the way that I did it, how did I make it shorter? I cut some off of this side, and I cut some off the bottom, and I cut some off the top to make it smaller. That's what a WAV file is your WAV file is your full audio file. Your MP3 file is compacted, and it cuts some of the frequencies off of the top and off of the bottom that it thinks that you might not need. It compresses it. The problem is, in a lot of cases, you might be losing the EVP that you captured. It might be here.
And you've cut it off.
And you've cut it off by using that file format. So always just remember, rule of thumb, if it won't record into WAV format, you don't want it. That's as deep as I'll get into it, because I could tell you,
13 minutes of the show, Frank. You said, you wouldn't go into a 30-minute
show,
show, but you did. You stuck to your word.
Right. So while we're talking about wave, just remember WAV, wave file. That's, if you don't remember anything else about audio, remember you need a wave recorder, because wave is going to pick up a lot more. This is our workhorse as far as recordings go. This thing has been with us more places than some. This has seen more states than some people I know. This is a Tascam DR05. Now, one of these is going to cost you about $79.
Which isn't a bad price compared to some of the recorders that are out there right now that actually don't have the same tech quality as the Tascam here.
Right. The Tascam, this thing, it records in WAV format. You can see the pattern of the microphones. Great for covering a wide area. This is a Zoom H1.
This is a new addition to our arsenal. We just got this in. We feel like that it's a competitor to the Tascam, and it has the crossing microphones here. How we like the what's that called? The XY.
XY pattern.
Hey, picked up on something tonight. The XY pattern on it, and still have the live listening feature on it, and a lot of other features that go along with it, and about the same price as the Tascam.
These you can get either one of these for $79. Now I know $79 is a lot of money, especially for one recorder. However, when you think about it, you don't have to worry about what you record being clipped. You don't have to worry about your EVP getting out of there. You're going to have excellent audio quality, and these are both tripod mountable. So they both, I'll show you. That comes in really handy because most camcorders, until you get into like a really high dollar range of camcorder, your microphone's probably going to suck.
Right.
Even if you have a really good microphone, chances are the sound card on the camcorder is still going to suck. So you can put this.
And like I said earlier in the show, we ran into that problem before. Earlier in our equipment buying, instead of doing the research, we see a cool looking camera, great infrared night vision, but you can hardly hear anybody talk on the thing. Or, the speaker was a little better, but you still couldn't quite get a clear EVP or a quite clear background noise is what you actually want to hear in these recordings. So you will fight with that.
So as you can see with these, that either one can be stuck on a tripod. Now the reason that's important is because if it can be stuck on a tripod, it can be stuck on a rig with your camera. You can get a dual flash bar for $5, $7, $8. Put your camcorder on one side, and I'll demonstrate this in a few minutes. Put your camcorder there, let it record audio. If your camera has a mic input or a line input, you can hook it up to the camcorder, record into it, or you can just record separate on it and sync the two together in Windows Movie Maker. It's really not hard. It sounds like it would be difficult, but it's not.
It really isn't. My wife, she likes to make the movies out of Movie Maker. You do a lot of movies out of Movie Maker.
It's it's funny. I mean, I literally have some of on my computer. I've got some of the top quality software that I can actually do cinema work through my computer with the software that I have. And a lot of times, I still go to Movie Maker,
right?
Because for like a quick edit, trimming something down, whatever, it's great software.
It is. It really is.
And it's super easy to use.
Anybody can learn. It's absolutely user friendly, I should say.
Yes. So these, as far as audio goes, you can go with that. I mean, you definitely can get into a little more.
Whoa. He's pulling out the secret weapon here.
Right. I mean,
dun 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 dun.
you can spend as much as you want to. A recorder like this, you can see if you compare the pattern on this microphone and the pattern on these. I mean, you can see it's a very similar pattern. The setup is very similar, but the difference is this one has now this one costs. This is about $299 recorder. It's got stuff on here that you're never going to use. XLR inputs and things like that. 4 channels. You will never, or most likely, never ever use that kind of stuff on an investigation. So that's why I'm saying don't overspend on your audio. Don't, if you're going to get something, don't spend more than $100 if you're just investigating. Because most people don't really have that kind of need for it.
Right. And the reason why we have it is because we're actually going to start trying to do more than just investigation. We're going to try to do, maybe a couple documentaries. We have that in the plan. So we're actually gearing up to start trying all this stuff out. So
we're actually, if it wasn't for us going into doing video production, No way we'd have a $299.
Right, yeah,
recorder.
it's
I mean, not for
it's not
investigation.
feasible for just investigating and you know editing stuff, because these $79 ones would work perfect. These are great pieces of equipment.
Handy little thing. What you do is you take your $10 headphones while you're recording, and you plug this in. Either one. Here is a headphone jack here. Now suddenly I'm hearing through my headphones anything that is recorded through this,
Including EVPs.
Including...
Of course. I'm the best thing you have heard all day. What are you talking about?
Where's that mute button?
You can't mute me out.
Right.
But these are really great. The live listening feature we use constantly. Now you don't have to wait until you get home to listen or do a lot of 5-minute EVP bursts, because now you can hear live as it happens and communicate right then instead of waiting later on during the investigation.
Oh, I see if I get a Doppler effect.
Are you trying to turn the antenna to tune me out there? Go back
I
to
was
the
trying.
east.
But you can see, you know, you can do the same thing with either one of these. Or, well, excuse me, it's on this side. Super handy tool to use. Using live listening, I can't tell you how many times I have heard an EVP the instant it was recorded and was able to react immediately. That had it not been for me just hooking a $10 pair of headphones into my recorder as we were going through, I wouldn't have known it was there.
Exactly. Would have never known it till we started reviewing the evidence, and
Right.
then we wouldn't have been able to ask the questions that we actually needed to do, or
So-
start, you know, whatever we had to do to communicate with it. We missed that opportunity.
Right. So I'm not one to say that a certain piece of equipment is going to
Hi,
improve.
Sarah. Thanks for joining. Sarah Walker.
Oh,
Jeremy.
okay. Then, but yeah, I'm not one to really say that a certain piece of equipment is going to improve your investigation or the quality of your investigation. However, going with one of these $79 recorders, $10 pair of headphones, if anything's going to do it, it's going to be these.
Exactly. And it gives you a great quality sound for you to present to your client.
Yeah.
And that's what you need, some clear, precise evidence to present back after your investigation. And these right here are a great tool to have.
So, that being said, I mean, we know how good that a good quality recording is.
Right.
Something else to consider, and I will break this out, is you have what's called an S.P.I.R, our sound pressure level meter. These are extremely handy to have. It looks like this. Just little, you know, it is literally just a microphone that is, or an instrument microphone that's attached to a meter.
It kind of looks like a miniature wine bottle.
And you can see how loud Donald is.
And annoying. Does it have an annoying level on there too?
It's maxed out.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Oh, but this actually helps you out during your investigation as well. You're cracking me up tonight, Frank. You're throwing me off my game here. You tried to pick me out. You picked me out of the video right off the start. I should just go on home now. Annoying, maxed out on that thing.
So something handy about this, why would you use a sound pressure level meter? Or if you're not familiar with this piece of equipment, look up sound meter and you'll see it. Tripod mountable. That's a big thing. Very handy if you want to put this in a room. Put it, you know, say you have a static camera set up in a room somewhere,
Right, yep.
DVR system. Put this on a tripod in front of your camera where you can measure the noise level in the room. Why? Because sound affects us. Infrasound affects us, the sound below the human hearing. Sound above human hearing affects us. This won't pick that up. This is only one to pick up sound. However, you have something strange going on your video. You have people that report hearing things like that. Here, you can measure the actual sound in the environment.
Basically, it's just another piece of equipment that gives you evidence to base your decisions off of or what you go by. Either debunk or prove that something actually is going on. This is just a third piece of equipment that you can add to it to more I guess, bring a more scientific side to it.
Wow, I didn't think that thing read that, huh?
Well, Sarah says, good thing she's not there. She would break it. Trust us, we have dropped some of this stuff. We are going to be applying, wrist strings to some of this new stuff that we've gotten because we haven't even used the stuff yet. So this will probably be put back in its case and taken royal care of. Because we were proud of the equipment that we were able to upgrade to. We're proud of the direction that the team is going. And we're hoping to be able to present a lot more better video quality and a lot more entertainment for everyone. So, speaking of video quality and entertainment...
While we're talking about video,
I'm the entertainment, you're the tech guy. So, why don't we show them a few cameras that we have picked up?
All right, this is a super expensive camera. This is going to run you... this
break the bank.
1080p recording, all that. If you're going to get one of these, be prepared to. You're going to shell out at least $40.
Oh wow, man! I don't know if I can handle that.
$40.
Wow.
Now you can buy these online, and you'll see them all the time that have been converted over to full spectrum, or it'll have that advertisement on it. Don't pay $170 for one of these that's full spectrum. Pay $40, unscrew the lens, do it yourself. If you have somebody that maybe you're not that comfortable with tech, but you know somebody that is, call them, pay them $10-20 to fix it for you. It literally takes less than 5 minutes to convert one.
I think it was our third show. On Controlled Chaos Live, Frank actually demonstrated how you do it, and he did it with his fingernail and a butter knife. So now we don't recommend those tools, but it's that simple. It really isn't that hard. They're great little compact cameras to have. Of course, these are the knockoffs of the GoPros. These are the SJ4000s here.
Yep, you have, this one is the HD brand knockoff.
Okay, that's the SJ.
And this is the SJ. Now the SJ cam, you're going to spend a little bit closer to about $70 for it. And I do like the internal software on it a little better. But these things, they run, just a micro SD card. You can actually even hook a charging cable. They charge off micro USB. Get, let me see. I'm not sure where
Frank, you'll never find him in that stack of... You'll never find it. I bet $10 he doesn't find it. He's got a pile...
Now I've got to find it.
A pile of equipment on a shelf beside him this high, and he's going to find a little plug for you.
How much are we betting?
I'm not betting.
We like betting. Don't we?
No. That's right, we do. I forgot about that.
Get you one of these little $10 charging packs. You can get them Walmart, anywhere. $10.
Which is another great piece of a little handy piece of equipment to have on you, because you can get 2 or 3 investigations out of one pack. One pack right here, where you're normally changing batteries every 5 to 6 hours on an investigation. This will last you a couple of investigations.
One of these off of a pack like this, $10 pack, and you can literally run this camera for a good 4 or 5 hours at least. So it makes a massive difference in how long the battery life is.
And these are rechargeable as well. These battery packs sure are.
Yep, I actually got this one. I've been using this since September. It was one of those impulse buys at Walmart. It's
well,
like,
hey, not necessarily an impulse buy. It was a great buy because we needed.
Well,
we needed that kind of stuff, because there are times when when you don't have time to run back down and find batteries and
Right. We were actually doing an investigation, and I was going in there for the purpose of picking up some batteries, and I saw that, and it's like, hey, this will come in handy tonight. But these, you know,
Laura says she knows a tech. I'm sorry you know that tech. I know which one you're talking about, and I apologize for him too.
Right. see what I got to deal with here. These cameras, they're great. You know, you're looking $40 to $80. Just you know, you can find those all day. Now, one thing about these, the audio on these cameras sucks, and it sucks badly. It is terrible. These are action cameras, not.
Right.
Let's get some good audio.
You're not trying to record the gospel or anything like that.
Right. You won't see
choir
these
music or nothing like that.
Yeah, these are strictly geared for video. They have sound, but honestly,
it's terrible. Honestly, they're not great at all. That's why we generally take a recorder and mount it to a tripod alongside of this camera. So that way we can sync them together and have better quality audio along with good quality video, because these do a real good job and they take good video. But just the audio part of it is the downfall to one of those.
Right. I'll tell you, you can take this. It's tripod mountable. You put it on a flash bar, put it next to your camera, above it, you know, just wherever, somewhere in that general area. Here's your audio source, here's your video. Super easy. Now that's for these cameras. You can get a little bit more. Now, something like this, you see these all day. You're looking about $100, maybe a little more for one of these.
I think I actually see the Vivitars now that they're actually down a little bit below $100 now. So
really?
yeah, they're starting to come down on with the newer models coming out.
Now these are neat. I mean, they're compact, but let's be honest, the design on these isn't that great. The video is grainy, and honestly, you're going to get better picture out of one of these than you will one of these. You might get a little better audio on this, but not much. But you will get a far better picture from one of these. That the only real advantage to this is it does have a small amount of zoom, but you most of the time won't want to use that anyway.
Right. We generally use them to station them in. If we don't take our DVR system, or we want just an extra camera for somebody to walk around and take some B footage, some B-roll. We'll use that, or we'll use some of these for facial expressions. Just to get some kind of stuff to throw into the videos to give it a little more glamour, I guess you could say.
Now, a camera like this, this is a Bell & Howell DNV6 HD. One of these, it comes, there's no need to convert it. You don't have to pay anything extra. This is a $99 camera. The audio is not bad, but I still wouldn't use it solely for an investigation.
You have to be pretty close to the camera in order to get some pretty decent audio on these handhelds like this.
And this one even has, the infrared is built straight into it. There's no need to convert. You can swap modes back and forth. Even has a built-in infrared illuminator on it that's good for a couple of feet if you're doing,
we do recommend you buy an external infrared light for this. It will definitely improve your night vision capabilities on that camera.
But you can see it's just a small camera, small lens, the flip out screen. So, not a bad camera. You'll get usually a little bit better picture on this than you will these. The only thing is, some of the experience I've had with this is it has a slow frame rate.
Right, yes.
Which can make some of your video a little
3D-ish. Yeah, right, yeah.
So that's kind of the problem.
They're not great for real quick actions.
Right.
So you don't really want to jerk around or move real fast with them. You kind of scroll slowly around.
Right. Whereas one of the action cameras is going to
Right.
have a very similar in picture quality, and it's going to be, able to withstand those quicker movements.
Right.
Now, if you're going to take something and set it on a camcorder, set it on a tripod, put it in the corner of the room and just leave it, perfect. But if you're walking around with it and stuff, go with this instead.
Bell and Howell make some really good pieces of equipment.
So we got
Upgrade.
So this one is a Bell and Howell DNV 24 HD. This was the 6 HD. This is the 24. Much bigger zoom, bigger preview screen. The sound quality is better. Video quality is massively better. Built-in infrared mode. Even has the Illuminator built in. And you can probably see it there. That little red light that you see. But this...
Yep, you can see it. Yeah.
I wasn't sure how good that
Yeah,
would show up.
you can see it just a little bit there. It's not bad, but they can see it. They can get the gist of it. There's supposed to be a red light.
There we go. Can you see it?
Well, we're about 10 seconds behind, so on this compared to us live.
So, this one, good camcorder. This one's good for laying around somewhere, or not laying around, but on tripod, or walking around with it. Really good. A big feature. This one's going to run you about $150 is usually where these start.
Right.
So you're spending, $50 more than you will for this one or this one. But that is $50 well spent.
To us, the $50 extra was worth it to get a little bit better video quality and audio quality off of the equipment that we're trying to use.
Well, and a major difference in this is, now this doesn't have a microphone input, so you're still going to, if you want that really high quality audio like you would expect for an EVP, you're still going to need to use a separate recorder. However, a major upgrade to this is you can buy aftermarket filters for this. Like, for instance, this is a macro lens with a wide angle. What that does is, if say I were just a couple of feet away, I might only be able to fit one of us in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I could put this lens on, these just screw into the front, and then I could fit more, possibly both of us into the picture, just by adding this lens. You can buy things like a lens that is a telephoto lens.
Well, a lot of times when we record, we actually cut you out of the video on purpose. We didn't want to tell you, but now you done got equipment to where we can't cut you out. So I just figured I'd come on clean and let you know.
After we go out and spend money, then you want to.
Yeah, we'll let you. We'll let you join us.
I thought it was equipment.
We'll let you hang around with us a little longer now.
But yeah, this one, really good.
I would say personally, invest if you want some. If you're one of those investigators that really like video and good infrared, this camera right here, I would suggest that you get right here because of the extra features that come with it. All the buttons are on the back, as you can see, so it's really easy access. You're not trying to distort your finger and your thumb and all that mess trying to get to the buttons that you need. It's real ergonomic for to keep your hand from cramping up all the time.
Another tip that I would recommend with anything is use a tripod as much as you can. There are a couple different things you can use. One thing that comes in handy on investigations is if you come across.
I didn't mean what I said. We really don't cut you out of video. I was just playing.
Cut me out of what video?
I didn't mean that. we cut you into several, is what I was saying. We were editing you in.
So
Wow. That thing will reach out and touch somebody, won't it?
so this is what you use when you're investigating in the bad part of town. What this is called a monopod. Very similar to a tripod, except something's missing. This one only has one leg.
2 legs is missing.
Yep.
Yes.
So why is that handy? Because say you're out investigating, you decide to stop for a little bit and rest your camera. Well, now instead of trying to hold it steady and hope that you're getting it,
basically it's a steadying rod is all it is. It gives your arm a break from having to hold your camera up.
Yeah, it just steadies you up a little bit.
Yep.
I'm going to record the camera recording the camera.
That's going to be some excellent footage. You should win an Oscar for it already. Best director.
So these are very handy. And if you look up monopod, you're going to see a ton of
monopod. If you look mono, you're going to get something totally different.
Right.
That's not what you want to look for.
Yeah, definitely. If you if you look this up, you're going to see monopods that there are some that you can pay nearly $1,000 for and up.
How much?
Nearly $1,000. Yeah.
For a.
Yep. A lot of them are in the $150, $250 price range. Don't pay that much for a freaking monopod.
We're in the wrong business.
Apparently.
We need to start making monopods. Right. Monopod's my new favorite all of a sudden.
This one, I mean, it's got a good heavy feel to it. It's really well made. This one came from Walmart for $15. So,
oh, wow. Okay, I was fixing to say, well, if
so
you pay,
don't go out and spend a ton of money.
I can go out to that oak tree out there and build you a monopod pretty quick.
Right,
break a limb off, wrap some tape around it, and we're good to go.
See, because honestly, this will do just fine.
Laura says if she pays $1,000 for something, she wants all 3 legs. She don't want a single.
Right.
She wants the whole shebang, by George.
I definitely understand. But
just something great for you to give your arm a break. Just when you're walking around in the woods and you want to sit around and you hear something, and you know how a lot of times when you've been walking, you're a little shaking. You don't get great video. But now that you have the monopod, you can actually steady yourself, and you don't have to really do a lot of movement because you can pivot, rotate, anything you want to. So
that that comes in handy. Much steadier video. I mean, there are things you can get that will steady you up a little bit, but a good monopod. Tripod.
Hey, Dallas says he's at work right now. He's giving us a view on his break. Awesome, yeah. 15 minutes only. Get on back to work. Love you, bud.
But yeah, the tripods, those are something that you can get tripods. You can pick up tripods like this. We use the crap out of these because you can buy them for about $12.
We've got tripods coming out of our ears.
I can't take. I bet we have at least 10, 15 of these.
At least.
Floating around that are identical to this.
And probably we've left 10 or 15 on investigation. So altogether we own 30, but actually only have 15.
Only 15 in our possession. That is why you don't want to spend too much money on a tripod.
Right.
One of these are very lightweight. And that's good and bad. You want to have a decent amount of counterweight if you're putting a heavy camera on top of it.
Right.
Like for this, there is no way I would put this camera on top of this and leave it sitting out. Reason is that's too heavy of a camera for something like this. Honestly, this camera I wouldn't feel comfortable with. Now something really light like this, yes. However, if I want to put like a little, something real light, like an audio recorder, if I want to leave it in a room and walk away, perfect for that.
Perfect for that. We have several different size, tripods. We have some real sturdy, great big ones for our bigger cameras, like the Bell and Howell here, for both of these actually.
Yeah,
so it got a little more backbone to them. They won't tip over. There's $159 sitting on the top of this thing. So you really have to pay close attention and where you actually put this thing. Don't put it in a well-traveled hallway or anything. So
that honestly one of the best tripods that you can get for everyday use. Perfect for any of these cameras. You can get for about $30, 20, 25, $30. Just a good average. And you can see the rating on them.
And the prices are going to vary. Sometimes you're going to run across deals where you can get 3 for $5, and I suggest you get those, because you'll always need a tripod for something.
Yep.
You're always going to have an extra room that you didn't account for when you go on an investigation. The building's a lot bigger than what you originally thought it was. Stuff like that. So tripods is your friend. Tripods and voice recorders are your friend.
Yeah.
So
that it's like that one EVP that we got when when we were doing this one case up. This was in North Alabama. We all step outside on the front porch, small little house, and tripod set up in the back room with a recorder running on it. You hear all of us walk outside, and about 10 minutes later, we all walk back in. Well, as soon as the door clicks, you hear that click all the way back in the back room. And we caught that EVP where, I'm paraphrasing this, says, "Oh crap, they're back."
Right, yeah.
So, and if we hadn't had that one just sitting there monitoring the room, we would have never
captured that and never known we'd have had anything in it.
But yeah, the tripod, it's really good at steadying you up. Let me the white box over there.
Here we go.
This is something.
I thought you might forget about it, and I was going to be able to sneak it out of here.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure you got a tracking system on it or something, I'm sure.
These are extremely handy, and for about $13, $14, you can get one of these. Now, the reason these are so handy is because the nut here and put on there, and see if that's not fitting right.
Now we have about 3 or 4 of these as well. These little Z sticks, like he said, they're really handy. They're really ergonomic. They take a lot of weight off your arm when you have several pieces of equipment hooked to this. He's going to show you here in just a minute actually all the features this thing has, which we may run out of time with all the features that you can actually mount to this thing.
Yes. So all I'm doing is I'm using the tripod mount on the bottom of the camera. There, I've got my camera mounted. And here is an infrared illuminator. There. And now we're set.
Sure are. Now, you can actually buy X brackets that go on the top of this. You can actually have an illuminator on this side. You can actually have your recorder on this side, your camera down here. We have it to where our battery packs are mounted to the bottom of this, and all this, we have all of our equipment hooked to our battery pack along the bottom of it. So no batteries and no changing out right in the middle of the time when you really need it. So this is a really great piece right here. We really like the Z-Stick.
Or you can even buy a little attachment here, just a dual flat bar or a dual flash bar, excuse me. And this is just one of the many designs they make. But if I can get that in there.
This is a live show, Frank.
Right.
You know, we should have had this set up beforehand if we were going to construct.
So, you remember I was saying that the audio on this isn't so great. So, take my little zoom here, and we're going to mount that on here. And now you have on the same rig your camera, your illuminator, and your audio.
Everything you need right there, or almost everything you need.
And this one actually is the one that I need the washer for.
Right.
I got the wrong adapter there. But
you get the gist of what we're trying to say. The brackets come as long as you want them, as short as you want them. Now, I mean, I'm sure there's a limit on the size. I think it's 12 or 16 inches long you can get these bars.
Right.
But you can have all kinds of stuff hooked to these things. This thing might look like a secret weapon. You know, you might get captured for being a spy or something if you're walking around with the streets with it in your hand. But
right, but yeah, you can use these. Something I've even done many times is get you a little 5-cent washer, a little rubber washer. If you ever have a mount that's not tight, put it on there, and we're good. There. And now we'll tighten that up, set that here. Position it, tighten it, and now we're good.
There you are. And if you want to live listen, you can still plug in your headphones right to
that. Anybody who has investigated with me before has most likely seen me walking around with a setup similar to this. Loop this around here so my cord's not in the way.
Normally it's duct tied on it.
Right.
You know, duct tape, you know, zip ties, you know, he spares no expense.
Right. So, do that. And now, everywhere you carry it just like a flashlight. And I'm hearing whatever the recorder's picking up. So, it's a very handy little setup there. Now, I mentioned some of the things that you can put on here. And you saw how long that took to set it up.
Very quick, very easy, very portable, which is actually what you want to do when a lot of the times you want to have a portable station that you can carry around, especially if you're doing a lot of areas. Be careful there. You about dropped Frank's already trying to tear our stuff up before we can even try them out. Be careful, Frank.
Now something, this is just a little rig that I threw together. There's a video of me actually putting one of these together.
Right, sure is.
We'll use this camcorder. And this one actually has a battery pack on it. The reason is because when you get into illuminators, you can spend a lot of money on illuminators, and you shouldn't.
Right.
Illuminators are not worth spending a lot of money on because a lot of times when you find them, they're marketed specifically for people who do paranormal investigations, and so the price is jacked up insanely.
All because it says paranormal. Really, it's really no better, excuse me, than anything that Frank is about to show you right now, and a ton cheaper.
Now here's just a little rig that, this is the same as the handle I just had, except my illuminator here is actually,
Hey Jennifer.
Instead of being a $70, $80 illuminator, this sells for about $12. What I did is I hooked it into a battery pack that I have zip tied to the bottom of this mount.
I told you.
What I did here is I literally have a flashlight zoomed in here, so because don't walk around in the dark when you can't see. Use a flashlight, whether you have to use one of those headlamps or whatever. Put your flashlight, zip tie it to the end of your thing so that wherever you point your flashlight, what you see is what the camera's going to capture.
Do you own stock in zip ties?
I should.
Because you have a bag full of them over there. I mean,
never far from arm's reach. These are two of the most important pieces of equipment that you're going to need in your
Duct tape
kit.
and zip ties. Trust me, we use it every time we go.
Literally.
Oh,
So I mean, yeah. Definitely. Zip ties.
well, Frank, we have 5 minutes left in the show. Should we show them the big shebang finale?
Well, yeah, we should definitely do this.
Yes, I finished up with your with our infrared and everything real quick.
Right. This battery pack, I'll show it to you. Kind of box it comes in. $30. This thing's powerful enough to jumpstart your car.
Oh wow.
You get one. This is what the battery pack looks like. And, you know, you just want to make sure that you get one like this that will work off of 12 volts. Don't look for an Illuminator on a ghost hunting website. Order one off of a site. Order one made for security systems.
Exactly.
eBay. Type in, you remember CCTV, the closed circuit television.
Right.
Think that. Type in CCTV Illuminator.
If you own a DVR system, you probably already know about the illuminators here.
And that's what this is made for.
Right.
Is one of those. Now, with this battery pack, you can go from this is a $12 illuminator. This one is a $22 illuminator, and it will. We nicknamed this one artificial sunlight. We did a sanatorium back in September, and that was the hallways in this place 550 feet long, and this would light up from end to end in that place.
And even outside, we tested it outside, and it was over 100 yards that you can still see great, even outside. So there was no reflections off of hallways or doors or windows that helps it carry on down the hallway. That was outside in the wide open, and it's 100 yards. So that's a lot of infrared light coming. And that also will hook to your power pack.
Yes, any of your lights made for a security system will run off of one of these battery packs. So, and these battery packs, the length of time that these last, I gave up on trying to run it down after about 6 hours. So,
It really is. I think it's really well worth the money to invest in those, because it saves you a lot of time on batteries.
Right.
If you ever bought a pack of batteries anywhere, they're expensive.
Right.
Batteries are no longer cheap anymore. You will pay $5 for a 6-pack of AA batteries.
Right.
It's ridiculous on the price.
Right, and this, in the pack, it comes with the cables that you need to hook everything up, and a charger. That is definitely something, because with the battery pack and the illuminator itself, you can still get this cheaper than you can just go into a ghost hunting website to buy one that's not going to put out half as much light.
Right.
I've seen many people fall into that trap.
Me being included.
So, aside from other things, you know, if one of these rigs isn't stable enough for you, use a tripod or a monopod. That isn't. I mean, you can always step up and get, you know, go with something a little bit lighter.
Be careful. That thing might take off. That looks like it's... Is that thing?
Right. So,
Wow.
so yeah. I mean, you can.
Makes this thing look weak. Frank, I can't. You're burning my retinas here. Turn that thing the other way. Ooh.
This is great for horror movies. You should see this.
Horror movie.
No, nobody on an investigation needs a camera like this. This is literally, we just kind of brought that in as a joke because.
Actually, that is one of the cameras that we'll probably be using when we film, you know, our documentaries or, you know,
that's what
a lot of stationary thing. That thing comes with a turbocharger as well, in case you're wondering.
But don't go buy a camera like that for just
that
walking around.
That camera is way too much, way too expensive for original investigations. If you're not trying to do television-worthy videos, that camera is probably not the one you want to take with you.
Right. So run through a few things real quick because I know we're actually a little bit over time.
Yeah, we are.
But I want to fit this in. Wow, where did the hour go?
It doesn't take long. It really doesn't
Right.
take long when you got a tech guy that loves to talk about equipment.
Right. So, everybody has one of these.
Your old K2.
See
Which is
these?
starting to become kind of a little bit of a controversial piece of equipment now.
And I'm going to tell you the way that you want to look at the K2, okay, or any EMF meter that you can possibly buy. Don't think of this as, okay, it's lighting up, that must be a ghost.
Right.
The reason and I don't know where it got changed up, I don't know how it got off course, but the reason these were originally used somehow got completely and polar opposite.
I think it's the television shows that actually gave it its stigma. So because you see those when they first came out, they were all over the television.
Right. These are not ghost detectors. This is not a ghost detector. This is not a ghost detector, or any of the other 6 or 7 meters that we've got are not ghost detectors. These detect electromagnetic fields. This one is a very simple rangefinder. Just says it's there. This measures it. This measures it most precisely,
Accurately.
Now this one is my personal favorite because it's going to tell you is it magnetic resonance or is it something that's man-made? Is that your source? That's very useful information to have.
Sure is, right.
Because this doesn't detect ghosts. However, electromagnetic radiation can cause people to have experiences that closely mimic what's usually reported with a haunting.
Just like some people are sensitive to geometric vibrations, as well.
So these are debunking tools. Debunking tools.
So when it lights up and it says
debunking tool.
I got
Not
it.
a detector.
Debunking.
Not
Okay.
a detector. Not a ghost detector. Not a ghost detector. Not a ghost detector. Not a ghost detector. Still not a ghost detector.
I'm convinced. You finally convinced me.
So I just wanted to get that out of my system.
Thanks for that,
Right.
Spaz out here at the end of the show.
Sorry, I needed that. But these help you rule out a haunting, not confirm it. It's these tell you, okay, well, there's something here that's probably causing them to get those feelings, to even hallucinate in extreme cases.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what these are for, not detecting grandma.
In case you haven't noticed, not a ghost detector. If you didn't hear earlier,
Right.
I had to say it too. I didn't want to feel left out.
What one did I mention? This is not a ghost detector.
I don't think you did. You might want to tell them again.
Right. Oh yeah. This one's not a ghost detector.
I'm sorry. There's nobody watching. You ran them all off with your not a ghost detector skit.
Now that doesn't mean that these aren't very useful to have, but don't buy it with the expectation of it showing up and giving you proof of a ghost.
A lot of times these were used to say, if you get a reading off of this, immediately start recording with your audio because you should catch a EVP. Right. That was the consensus early, 10, 15 years ago, but now these are more, like he says, just a measurement tool than they are a pinpoint location or a manifestation of anything happening in your area. So
now this is a very handy tool. It will pick your magnetic fields, things like that. And this is personally my favorite model. You can get those that have the antennas that come out and the little proximity sensor on it, where when somebody touches it, it goes, and
Laura says, what about when it plays military cadence?
Now she actually has a clip that is insane. You literally hers was one that would, make the sound when it goes, and you see it lighting up. There's nothing around causing it, and it's sitting there. It's sitting there going,
So,
and responding on command on that.
oh, really? So it was actually in the beat of the military cadence as you were talking to her. That's
Right.
pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah, that was insane. And I'm not going to say that, that if there's an entity there, they couldn't manipulate one. However, don't use this as a ghost detector. This is something really handy. This is my particular favorite model because it registers you have your temperature reading like all millimeters, but this one actually has a range selector that will tell you if it gets hotter or if something touches it and makes it cooler. That comes in very handy for giving you that alert. So before, and this one's actually about $50 to $100 less than that model with the antenna,
Right.
and it's going to actually give you usable data.
Right. Absolutely. Things you can use, you can pinpoint where it's actually at. Not necessarily pinpoint, but know somewhat where it's coming from and what you're dealing with.
Yeah, and don't forget to pick up your.
You use that just to aggravate the cats. Whenever we go on an investigation, he likes to
Great
red
tool
light
for
all
that.
the clients' cats. They get upset at us. They kick us out sometimes because Frank won't leave the cats alone. I don't understand.
Right. Say you're getting a strange reading on your millimeter with the temperature. You want to check it out? Get one of these. These are about $25. They're a good investment. Don't get the $10 one. It's not worth it. Something else. Good investment. You don't have to go expensive.
Sure don't.
You can get these. I mean, these start like, $20 for a pair. Walkie-talkies. Now, keep in mind that when these broadcast, it will affect your symbol or your signals that this picks up. So you have to be really mindful of that. But then again, that's an EMF field, and
Right.
these are EMF detectors.
Exactly.
So-
Imagine that.
Right,
I
so-
wonder why
so-
they're picking that up.
Right. I don't know.
I can't put the two together.
Aliens.
It could be Russia.
Yeah.
Damn Russians.
Hacking their radios.
Uh.
These obvious reasons.
Hey, but yeah, it's great to have a couple of great walkie-talkies on you because when you're setting up for sure and you're trying to get the right angles on your camera, you don't want to have to run back and forth to command center looking at the camera and then running back to that. That way one person can be sitting there. Donald, go to the left a little bit with camera 3. And you can,
Well, using the radios, there's a clip on the C.A.S.P.I.R Facebook page where we were on live. You hear the radio go off. This was when we were investigating the sanatorium. They thought that I was coming up. They were asking where I was at that precise moment.
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
And the reason was they heard footsteps coming up from behind. They weren't sure what was going on, thought it was me, and it wasn't. I was completely on the end of the building, and we're able to, by using the radios to communicate with each other about positions and what was happening, we actually were able to document some pretty strange things going on.
Right.
So
That and otherwise you would have thought, well, that's just Frank walking around up there.
Right.
And you wouldn't have known it till he came down and you asked him. And then by that time you forget where
right,
you've walked.
and it's hard to put it together.
It's kind of hard to know where you were every minute. Where were you at 16 minutes ago? Somewhere up there. I don't
In the
know.
building?
Yeah, somewhere around here. You know, so
Something else, get a good weather station. Don't overspend on it. You can get these units. I mean, one like this is only
it's real cheap.
yeah,
$6, I think it was.
yeah,
$5-6.
no more than 10. Has a like say you want to monitor something. This is a temperature probe, and so it will read here, and it will pick up a separate temperature on the unit. Handy for obvious reasons. Will detect barometric pressure, things like that, and get maybe get one like this, but you can get a wireless one as well for, $20, $25. Those come in handy if you want to monitor a room for temperature fluctuations.
Sure can.
Now we're going to get an anemometer.
You're going to show every piece of equipment we got tonight, aren't you?
These come in really handy. You got temperature fluctuations. You're picking up EMFs. People are saying they're feeling the draft. There's something strange.
Right. Yeah.
And, they feel something moving by them. Get you one of these. These for a decent one, you're looking about $30. Now, if you notice something, every time I move this, the impeller in it moves. So what's going to happen if I walk around with this piece of equipment?
You're going to get a draft through it.
I'm going to pick up all sorts of false readings. Every time I move it, that moves. Which will
it's actually moving every time you talk, Frank. So it might be
oh my God, we're in a hurricane.
The BS coming that you're spewing out right now. But yes, this will definitely help you out during your investigation, especially if you're it's stationary. You're sitting in a room, all of a sudden you feel a draft.
Right.
It will let you know if that's what you felt. There's actual a draft in the room, or if it could be just a cold spot coming through.
Right, and it comes in. These can be mounted on a tripod. So, along with your audio recorder that you've mounted in the room, you can stick this on a tripod. And then when you talk through it, you'll see, or, when you leave it there, you'll notice that if it moves, then it's obviously a draft coming through.
Right.
Comes in really handy to have in the bottom of your camera footage, too.
Absolutely, yeah. Just another debunking tool, really.
Mm-hmm. Right, and these are directional, and of course there is, they usually tell you which way they're going to read about the air coming through. So.
Did that say you need a mint? Oh.
Let me see, I don't know, tell me.
Luke, I am your father. See, you don't even move from mine.
Right, it's, I've had more time to practice. You gotta do something when you get bored, right? Sit around it. The only thing is it doesn't make the cool sound effect like when you're talking to the fan.
Right, yeah.
So, those are just a couple of environmental things to consider. Something else that comes in really handy sometimes is an old phone that you don't use anymore. Very handy. The reason is this has a jack on it. You can hook a microphone up to, whatever. Don't use paranormal apps, but they do make a good wave recording app you can download for free.
And a lot of your phones, and they have to, or they have to put the really good speakers in these, or you won't buy it. If you have terrible sound on a phone, you're not going to buy it.
Right.
So they put really good speakers inside of these, and your phone is a very valuable tool, and it gives off some great audio.
Right. So yeah, definitely. Don't leave those phones sitting in the junk drawer. Since it's going to have a good microphone, use it and. Drop it in a room somewhere to be a backup audio recorder.
Exactly.
There's a program, Smart Voice Recorder. It's free, awesome program. We've used it a million times and had really good results with it. So, old phone. Hey, you've already got an old phone, right?
Everybody's
not
got
paying
one.
anything. So,
right.
So it doesn't get better than that. Let me see. I think really
the only thing you haven't showed them is the spool of wire.
Oh yeah.
We have a flashlight over there. You haven't shown them yet,
right? And just in case of emergency, fishing line comes in good.
I was looking for that the other day.
Just whatever you gotta do. But now, as far as cameras go, we covered a lot.
We really did.
The thing of it is, just remember this with cameras. You are no more likely to capture an apparition on this camera or, on this camera.
On this camera.
Or even on this camera. Your chances of capturing an apparition are the same.
Even with the turbocharger hooked to that, you're still not going to necessarily catch one.
That it is literally, a camera is not a magical thing that's going to be able to see into other realms or anything like that. A camera, this is strictly to document your investigation. This is what you've seen, where you were, what you were doing when you captured that EVP, who was in the room with you. Right. You have it on here. Where those strange footsteps came from. When that door opens, when that object moves, something like that. Yeah, you'll capture that. But as far as one being more likely to capture an apparition, no. I
almost have a better chance of winning the lottery.
You do have a better chance. So, and I'm not going to say that you can't capture an apparition.
Right, yeah. There are a few videos out there that people have captured apparitions.
I mean, we've had some strange things show up.
But I'm talking, full-bodied apparitions, which are rare. And, and like we've said before on the show, we capture most of the evidence on audio rather than video.
But, yes, if you buy a camcorder or any kind of camera with the intent of capturing an apparition on video in mind, you are setting yourself up for disappointment in a major way. So just remember that. Before you buy anything, really ask yourself, how is this going to improve my investigation? Don't just buy the thing with all the flashy lights, and just because it was on TV does not mean it's a good piece of equipment.
Exactly. Most of those are sponsors, and they're paid to tell you what how great that piece of equipment is.
Now I'm going to show you one more thing, and this is the most important piece of equipment you can have. This is the most valuable thing. This is more important than anything that we've brought out. This is the superstar of your investigation.
What? I thought
these you can find on sale sometimes for 79 cents.
Oh wow! So it fits into the budget really well.
Right. So
I thought you were talking about a coffee pot.
Right. Easily affordable. Well, the coffee pot is definitely the second most important asset.
Yeah, it has to be up there.
Investigation. We don't investigate much without having one with us. This is where it is. This will give you more useful data. This will help you spot more patterns. This will help you find triggers. This will help you do all those things when all of this other stuff has dead batteries. When all this other stuff will fail you, a notebook is critical. Because every single thing that you've seen us out of this whole mountain of equipment we've brought out and talked about tonight, this is where you record it. Okay. 7:54 p.m. Temperature increase of 20 degrees measured on our thermometer.
8:47 p.m. Whisper in my ear, breath on the back of my neck.
Right.
Bedroom, second story. Little things like that can help you pinpoint and actually look on these equipment to help you pull the evidence out.
Right. And not only that, but for your clients as well.
Absolutely.
Have them, before you ever investigate, they need to have at least 30 days worth of a journal. Because, and they can backdate it. You don't have to put them off 30 days, but you need a good time frame. You need a reference of who's there, what happened during the day beforehand, things like that. And you can go back, flip through, and you can see, hey, every time this happens, they have something strange happen that night. Or every time this person is there, something strange happens.
Yes.
All of that comes from this.
It will help you find the common denominator to what is actually going on.
So yes, don't forget that.
Pink says we needed sponsors. When we were talking about they were getting paid by sponsors. She said Monster Energy should sponsor us.
Yes.
And look at
yes.
this. I got one right here.
Right.
Buy a Monster today. We promise it won't ruin your liver.
Right.
So
I have 3 a day and I'm just fine. No, well, with that said, I think we've had enough foolishness for one night. We don't want to wear everyone out. And we're about 22 minutes over. So with that, we're going to get out. But
right, we're lucky everybody stayed with us past an hour. I'm surprised they could handle us that long.
I am too, honestly.
I really am. But hey, it was a great show. We got to show off a little bit of equipment. We hope someone was able to afford some of this stuff, put it into their budget, spend that tax check wisely, and spit it out here.
And you know, if you're in doubt, you know, don't be afraid to hit one of us up. We'll be glad to help you out with finding some of this equipment, with making some recommendations if you're not sure. Do your research on everything before you buy it. So, you know, you don't have to spend an arm and a leg, but at the same time, don't always go the cheapest. Make sure that you get the best value for that money that you spend. So.
Absolutely, and I agree with Frank. Do not, you know, we always say go cheap, go cheap, go cheap, but we're not saying go dirt cheap.
Right.
Be middle class cheap. You know, so
you just use some judgment and discretion.
Right. Yes. Do your research. Find the best quality video or audio that you are looking for, and something that you're going to be happy with. Just because me and Frank says it's great for us doesn't necessarily mean it's great for you. So just use your better judgment, and you'll be happy with the outcome.
And to you know, don't be afraid to ask questions. And, you know, before you buy it, ask yourself, talk to yourself, make people think you're crazy because you're talking to yourself. But ask yourself, how is this going to improve the quality of my investigations?
Absolutely.
So, with that said, we hope everyone has an awesome night, and we appreciate you listening to us. We'll see you again next week.
Hey, appreciate everyone joining us. Happy anniversary to my wife, Jennifer. 4 years.
Oh, wow. She is a patient woman.
4 years? Yeah. Yeah, 4 years, 13 years together. I'm surprised she's kept me around that long. Wow. So good night, everyone. We hope everyone has a great night. The other button, Frank.
Which one?
I have to retrain you every Thursday. No, the other side.